Can you believe it? 9 Assassin's Creed games in. I wasn't a huge fan of the previous one, Unity. Will this one be any better? Let's find out. This is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Don't go away. So Assassin's Creed Syndicate, hilariously, is the exact opposite of Unity. Unity had a pretty bad beginning, middle, but I think it had a good ending. Assassin's Creed Syndicate here, I gotta be honest, good beginning, pretty good middle, but it just falls off towards the end. First up, I legitimately have to read the back of this cover like it's a GameCube game because it's saying some good stuff here. Listen. Recruit your gang members. Okay, we've had that for like 10 Assassin's Creeds pretty much. All new brutal combat system. Play as 2 characters. Some good stuff here. And I will give credit where credit is due. Syndicate shakes up the gameplay quite a bit. Play as 2 characters. Huge. First time in 9 Assassin's Creed games you finally play as a chick. You can switch between these 2 pretty openly. One is more catered towards combat and like, you know, hand-to-hand, non-stealth, just straight up in the enemy's face. Evie, on the other hand, is a lot more stealthy, quick, agile, and that is 100% my preferred way to play. This is by far the most fun I've had with stealth yet. I genuinely felt like an assassin playing as her. Stealth missions felt really good to complete.
It's like absolute dominant stealth gameplay with this chick.
The downside of this, for half the game, you're forced to play as both characters. So I was forced to play as Jacob, the sort of like brute, and it's not that fun. Mostly because the combat sucks. All new brutal combat system is true. It is all new. And I'll be honest, because of the ragdoll physics, it is brutal.
He just did a front flip? Oh my.
But notice how it doesn't say the all-new, brutal, fun combat system. There is no fun in this combat system. If you're caught out and the only option is to fight your way through, you can fight anyone you want. But there isn't really strong or light attacks. There's just, at least on PlayStation, square attack. And if he guards, you click X. And if you have to dodge, you click O. But for 85% of the combat scenario, you're just spamming the same button. Square, 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 square. Watching that combo meter rise up into the 50s, 60s, that's just like 60 square buttons. If it wasn't for the insane ragdoll physics at the end of the combo where you finally kill him off, this would be by far the worst combat mechanic I've seen in Assassin's Creed, which is a huge reason why I like the stealth. It's like there's such a polar opposite here. Best stealth I've seen, worst combat I've seen, which just makes Jacob, the brunt character, that much more worse, and it makes Evie, the stealth character, that much better. Now, another huge discrepancy from previous Assassin's Creed game is the zipline. Now, we have seen like bonus ways to move around the map, such as the hook blade in, what was that, Brotherhood Revelations, one of those 2. But this is something that completely shakes up the parkour game. Okay, we're talking about the zipline. I kind of really enjoyed it because 9 Assassin's Creed games in, you know, climbing a lookout tower 150, probably 300 times, probably more, way more than that, honestly. It gets, you know, at some point it's like, okay, you know, doing the same thing over again. But with the zipline, click L1 while you're near a building and you will scale it immediately. Click L1 to shoot like a 200 meter zipline across the city and you will just fly around the map. It's not mandatory to use this at all. You can still have the free ability to parkour wherever you want if you want to go straight up old Assassin's Creed style. But for me, having the ability to just shoot the zipline and just fly away is kind of cool. Now the story here, is bad. There's Nothing to it. The bad guy, Starrick is his name. I almost forgot it. He's the bad guy because he's bad. And the good guys, Jacob and Evie Frye, are good because they're good. And their side characters, whom I can't remember his name, he fell in love with one of the characters. Actually, that is a legit storyline. I just thought about it. There's a legit storyline there. It is actual bare bones. Like, it would take you 10 seconds to come up with the storyline in a boardroom meeting. And there is some cool moments. Like, they talk a lot about Jacob and Evie losing their father, I assume to the Templars. But why didn't we see that? Why couldn't that be the very beginning of the game? Kind of like in Assassin's Creed 2 where Ezio lost his entire family. And you're like, you know what? This bad guy, this evil villain, you have a real reason to hate this guy now. Here, it's like, Starrick's like, I want to take over London and make a lot of money. It's like, evil guy, kill him. So really, gameplay here for Syndicate, high and low lows. That's kind of what you'll see as a trend throughout this whole thing.
What's up? Bro, I'm getting auto aim. Oh my, how does that a stealth kill? What the fuck just happened? There's still a guy left? Okay, I just shot a cop 10 times, but whatever. Nothing worked, but it all worked.
Presentation here, it's good. We're in London, 1868 as the setting. And it's kind of cool to have, I want to say a modern setting, because even though it's like a couple hundred years away, real time, it's the most modern setting we've had. And it kind of makes me want like a 1920s New York gangster style setting. But the music takes inspiration off that London sort of Victoria timeline. And it's nice. You know, the music really pops up out of nowhere a lot of the times, which is good. The downside is ambient settings, running around the city. There's really no soundtrack there. It's kind of bland. What isn't bland is what you can visually see while walking throughout the city. Honestly, I was genuinely impressed for an Assassin's Creed game walking throughout the city. Kids playing with soccer balls, you know, young couples talking about love, random people fighting. I mean, this is actual work, I swear to God, the devs put in to building the city. If you're playing this game, don't run across the city's, you know, roofs and stuff to get across into your destinations. Run around the city. You will see a lot of cool little details. But just like every previous entry, the voice acting here is good. Design of the city is good. Assassin animations are as good as ever. And there's just nothing bad to say. Like, nothing popped up where I was like, I don't like that. And other than the tiny details in the city, nothing popped up where I was like, that was really good. Super tiny ass detail though, I do gotta call this out. The menu sound effects of just like scrolling around sound identical to Dead Space. I swear to God, I'm gonna put a comparison here.
Looks about the same.
So Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I said in the beginning, good first half. In fact, genuinely, when I played this, I was like, this might be one of the best Assassin's Creed games. But as the game got on, my overall opinion sort of took a nosedive. I actually genuinely think this game does some of the best, you know, mini detailed stuff in the series. 9 games in, which is kind of very impressive. Eagle Eye Vision Mode, best it's been in the entire series. The zipline, great parkour mechanic. Stealth is the best it has ever been. This is the least amount of tail missions I've seen in an Assassin's Creed game, which is good. There's an unlockable skill early on that makes you automatically loot people you assassinate. I've wanted that since day one.
Thank you, God.
There's an actual reason to go for a lot of chests here around the city because you earn a lot of money. With that, you can buy a lot of weapons, you can buy clothing, you can buy gang upgrades, and all of this is accessible through the menu. You don't have to go to a specific spot or unlock buildings throughout the city or some dumb shit. You can actually just straight up buy this stuff. That is very useful. But at the back half of this game, it's just weighed down by things like forcing you to play half the missions as Jacob, aka the Brute, and I don't want to do that. Kidnap missions are arguably worse than tail missions, okay? Let me tell you about this. There are 3 sort of main things you'll do for missions in this game, which is save the slave children, take down a base, as per usual, or kidnap missions, which is basically infiltrate the base, kidnap a man, bring him back out, throw him in a cart, bring him out. I hate these. These are worse than tail missions. I want to walk into a base and slowly pick my way through the guys, assassinate everyone. I don't want to walk in, slowly wait for these guys to loop themselves around until I find a final perfect moment where I can kidnap this guy and hopefully make it out without killing him, which I swear to God never worked. Kidnap missions are worse than tail missions. I'm saying it right here. And also, too much gameplay relying on the horse and cart effect. And generally, the game just trying to artificially lengthen its runtime. Here's the perfect example. I get to what I think is the end of the game. Sequence 8. Kill Steric. Okay, this is going to be a good mission. Hopefully I can play as Evie and do some stealth stuff. So what do we got to do? Okay, well, play as Jacob first, and you're going to have to kidnap one of his right-hand men. Okay, that's a little weird considering I've killed everybody he owns. Every person that could possibly connect to him I've killed. But sure, I'll kidnap this person. What do we do next? Kidnap another person. Okay, well, what do we do next? Kidnap a third person. Okay, what do we do next? Now you play as Evie, and you have to go destroy his ammunition. I swear to God, this is like, we did all the setting up to kill this guy. Okay, what do we do next? Pick up this person and drive them to a spot. Okay, so I'm playing taxi. What do we do next? Pick up a second person. Okay, what do we next? Pick up a third person. What do we do next? Now you can go kill the guy. Like, I seriously did like 7 or 8 pretty decently length missions on road to killing this guy, which I swear I laid the groundwork to kill this guy the whole way, the whole time, the whole game. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, extra kidnap missions, extra taxi missions.
You've arrived too.
But there is no denying at the end of the day, this is the best stealth. I had the most fun taking out bosses and bases in this game that I've ever had. And overall, crunching all the high highs and the low lows, 7.8 out of 10. So that's it. I am saying this right here, right now. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is done. But I'm also going to say I'm taking a break from the Assassin's Creed series. I've played now 9 games in a row. Not back to back, of course. I've played a couple of games, in between every other one. But I think I'm going to take a decent hiatus of at least a few months here to sort of take a break, come back with Origins, Odyssey after that, Valhalla, and then Mirage. I think there's going to be I might take a decent break in between those Assassin's Creeds of Odyssey, Origins, Valhalla, because I already know the word on the street is these games artificially lengthen their runtime, and that's something that I might not like. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm your host, Safe Entertainment. Hope you just review. Peace out.
Okay, well, I'm dead. Oh my God. I can't believe that just fucking worked out.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.